So I thought I would talk about my top 10 favorite sci-fi movies. Since I tend to lean towards more horror, that kind of, instead of like pure science fiction, you'll see what I mean. So these are my top 10 that I own. One that I don't own that I really like is Planet of the Apes, the original one. I remember watching that when I was little and just crazy. I've read the book. The book's really good. So my first one is pretty much a standard. It's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Kubrick, of course. It's just an amazing movie for when it was made, the effects. My mother actually saw this when it came out in the movie theater, and she said everybody was like high and taking stuff while they watched it because it sort of has a psychedelic feel to it. One of the interesting things about it is you still see females in subservient positions like stewardesses, even though this is supposed to take place in the future. And that's a criticism I've heard from several people. My next is another classic, which is Blade Runner. I have the 30th anniversary one. And I don't know, it's really a strange movie for me, because the effects and the whole premise is not, it's there, but it's more subdued, I guess. And that's why I just really like it. The visuals are great, and it really was ahead of its time. I didn't mind the sequel. The sequel is actually pretty good. And it had the same feel as this one, but I do love this one. It's such a good movie. Another classic is the first Alien. I love that movie. It really was ahead of its time. And this is one of the more pure horror ones. My favorite scene, which I read about it in a sort of a cinema studies book, is when Ripley has a magazine rolled up and shoved down her throat by the android. And if you notice that Ripley's character is not very feminine, no makeup, kind of, flat-chested, no butt. The magazines that are rolled up are like Playboy magazines. They're girly magazines, and they're being shoved down her throat, which is interesting in itself, the symbolism. But also when she defeats the android, he is spurting white, milky semen type stuff, like an ultimate release, like le petit mort, the small death, the orgasm as the release of things. It's a really interesting scene if you think of it that way. They're fighting back and forth. I don't know if that's how it was intended, but damn if it doesn't fit into it very nicely. This is the anthology set. I got it when it came out because they did a really good job packaging these and putting it together. I remember seeing Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection in the movie theater when they were out. My next one is, of course, Donnie Darko. Everybody seems to love Donnie Darko. When I first saw this, I thought it was pretty amazing. Just the whole weird vibe from it. The sequel, S. Darko, is okay. I don't think it did very well, but I think the director's cut is really done well. It has sort of the extra chapter markings and all. And I think Arrow has released this on a Blu-ray, and I think 4K as well, or they're going to release it in 4K, which is kind of exciting. Let's go to My favorite John Carpenter is They Live. I love this movie. They're actually coming out with They Live Funko Pops. So you get John Nada and one of the male newscasters as alien form later this year. I think maybe August or September, which is pretty cool. I have some of the action figures. That it's just a simple, clean movie, straightforward, subliminal messages, weird alien infiltration of population, and it's done so well. And Roddy Piper, he's perfect in this. He really is. Next one is 12 Monkeys, which was inspired by the French movie film La Jetée, which is kind of a strange. I had to watch it. It's kind of strange. It's kind of very loosely based on time travel. This is the Arrow edition. So it has the O-ring and then that. They did a good job with packaging it. I saw this in the movie theater and I loved it, and I thought Brad Pitt was so cool and kooky, and you get to see his butt, which was kind of nice. But the whole idea behind it is very neat. And I like Bruce Willis is great. His character's great. I like how Madeline Stowe's character kind of develops over time. It's really a fun movie and done so well. Terry Gilliam is a great director. He really is. Anything he does it's good. Let's see. Another one is the original Fly with Vincent Price. Yeah, I think it's sci-fi because, well, it's science fiction. Horror movie, and it's a classic. Interesting thing, when I was, I was 18, and this was on AMC, and I was watching this, and things precipitated anyway, so I told my mother I had to tell her something, and I went outside to like the side of the yard, and I said, I came out to her as being gay, and she was like, no. I tried to hug her, she wouldn't hug me back, weird stuff. So I went in my room and just sat with the door closed, not knowing what the hell was going on, or how things would unfold, react. And I remember just staring at the fly, and I just couldn't move as I watched this movie. And so I've watched it, and it has like a special piece of me. Whenever I watch it, it's always, it's kind of kooky, kind of silly. One of my other favorite Vincent Price movies is The Last Man on Earth, which you can actually watch on YouTube for free. It's really good. The book is just as good. I have not seen The Omega Man or I Am Legend, which is what it's based on. I'm not a huge Will Smith fan. The remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I actually haven't seen the original, but this is the one with Jeff Goldblum and Leonard Nimoy and Donald Sutherland. It's just a good, cool, thrilling movie, kind of conspiratorial, and the effects are kind of cool in it. And I have two strictly foreign movies. This is the original Pulse, not the remake. It's a creepy movie about a sort of an airborne virus that infects people based on, it's sort of Wi-Fi, the internet. So it's not really explained too well, but it can be, it can sort of go through webcams and red tape around like your windows and doors and stuff is supposed to keep it out. I think this one is slower than the American version, but it's better. even though I do like the American version as well, it's pretty good. This is when, Dark Water and The Ring and The Grudge. This is one that came out of that whole period. My last one is one I grew up on. I couldn't wait until it came on USA, usually around 11 at night, and I thought it was the strangest, most wonderful thing I'd ever seen. That's Fantastic Planet, the 1973 animated movie. And it's just, you have people kept as pets and aliens, and it's very counterculture, and it's on Criterion, and they did a decent job cleaning it up, making it look good. It's a 2K digital restoration, and it's just one of those movies, once you see it, you're like, this is so cool. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites, and it's somewhat kid-friendly, somewhat. There is like a little bit of nudity, but it's cartoon nudity, and there's very little talking, so it's more musical. It's more soundtrack. Anyway, those are my top 10 with my honorable mention of Planet of the Apes, of sci-fi movies. Okay. Thanks for watching.